Probably that first summer I met Mary Hall Reese, who was on the Muni Development Board, and we were just talking about how talented these children were and that we would like to provide more performance opportunities for them. And she said, I have this really good idea. Why don't we create this program for these kids to perform outside of the Muni? We started working on it, I guess it was in the summer of '93. And by the next summer, we had sold it to the Muni. Then we hired a musical director and we hired a choreographer. And we basically just put the whole program together. I believe our first group was about 50. We had to do all the fundraising for the costumes and for the props.
Well, the Muni Kids and Muni Teens program is designed on several levels to give them performing opportunities, educational opportunities, and to serve as ambassadors of goodwill to the community. I think one of the really valuable things is that they get a chance to interact with other young people who have the same interests and passions that they do, and they form some very, very strong friendships, as do the parents. They do shows on site, but they also do shows at nursing homes, children's hospitals, civic events like Fair St. Louis, First Night, things like that. They get to work with directors and choreographers who are at the top of the business in the country. The Muni Kids and Muni Teens are selected via our open audition process, which takes place in late winter, early spring. It varies a little bit from year to year. And they audition by singing and dancing, and we cast the shows. And then from among those that are cast in shows, we choose the Muni Kid and Muni Teen troupes, which are the touring organizations. And there are 24 in each troupe. There are certain shows that specifically require children, like Annie, Oliver, Music Man, you gotta have a boys band. And then there are shows in which they just populate the world that we're living in as we tell that story.
You know, the Muni is very special in that we have a stage that is as large as it is, so it can hold a lot of bodies. And there's a grandeur that we can give to musical theater that in many stages across the country, people just can't afford to do it. They don't have the budgets, they don't have the resources, they don't have the ability. And we are sort of luxurious in that we are still gifted that. And those kids and teens are a big part of making a community on stage in a way that just having, 10 and 10 of an ensemble isn't. When you see a show like Oklahoma or All Shook Up or something that's involved with being in a city, in a town, in a community, and you can make a picture, you can make a family. You can give them teenagers and younger kids and build couples and build pictures that are really special. And that's something that you can kind of only do these days at the Muni.